Good afternoon. Questions?
Coach, for you on Saturday, what would be a successful day for you?
Well, I think a successful day for our defense is anytime in a first game, and especially with a first game and, a new defense, our challenge out there will be get our kids playing fast, and so we need to minimize what we're doing initially. And so I think mentally for us to be able part of our goals is not allow explosive plays, right? Be lined up, not many mental errors. So seeing our kids play fast and, being able to execute our basic scheme.
Seeing spring, obviously not seeing them last year. What did you see from Antonio Allen in fall camp that had you kind of excited about?
Well, coming into the job, heard what a dynamic player he was, especially his limited exposure last year. Just a very physical impact player, and I think he's shown us that in the few scrimmages we've had. He's flying around making plays and just being able to get him, understand the defense. Him and Murph are two safeties. Safety is an important part of this defense. Came in and I think have done a great job this fall. Bobby Richardson, I think Bobby's very similar to Antonio and Murph in a sense. He did not play much last spring, okay? But he has been as impressive as anybody's we've had on the defense as far as what he's done, playmaking ability up front, and his movement-wise. So I'm looking for him to lead us pressuring the quarterback, being a great leader because I think he's stronger, bigger, and really has had a great fall and be an impact player against the run as well.
We played quite a few guys in the opener anyway. Will that be even enhanced because it's expected really hot weather and humidity?
Well, I think there's a lot of competition still in a lot of spots. I think in all our spots we've been able to rotate a lot of guys, and so with the beginning of the season in our first month of the schedule, playing teams that are going to spread us out. All the teams we play spread us out. We're going to have to play multiple personnel, and so against Indiana State, certainly there's expect the unexpected as far as what you're going to see. So we're going to have to play a lot of guys at every position.
Always totally fair question. Since you weren't here last year, I know depth chart at this point may not mean all that much, but if you're an Indiana fan, you look at this depth chart, it's all the same names on the defense. It's the same guys that were starting last year, playing last year. But what you saw last year on film, what you see now, how are they better?
Well, I think the experience. I think there was a lot of positions last year where we were very inexperienced. We played a lot of young guys that were freshmen, guys like Ralph Green, T.J. Simmons, Marcus Oliver. A lot of young guys played, and now these guys are a year older. While it is a new system, but we've been executing the systems all spring and 20-some practices in the fall. So I think just that experience, I think they're playing with some enthusiasm right now. So I think that combined with just the experience they had playing last year should be beneficial. Absolutely, absolutely. And we've we put in we continued to add on from the spring in the first 20 practices. In the last 10, we've kind of pared back and really focused on what's the best in this opener for our guys to prove. We want to be able to allow them to play fast.
Coach Wilson said 53.4% of the defense. Is that accurate?
I'd say just over 50, but no, I think that our ability, after this first game is, especially when you don't early in the season, you're not quite sure what you're going to get. You got to prepare for everything. So obviously we can't have a lot of our defense in, but there'll be enough that our guys have executed all spring and all fall that we'll be able to play. So I think right now that probably is a pretty accurate assessment of just over half.
I know you guys want to play well defensively, but how much is there just pressure, or do you feel pressure just to come out and make a statement that, hey, this is a different Indiana defense?
Well, I think our kids need confidence. Coming in last spring, that's one of the things I noticed even in winter workouts. When they had success, they gained confidence. And so it'll be important for us to have success, all right, success early, because I think with that success, they will have more confidence, they'll play faster, and I think that'll allow us, continuing as the season goes on, to continue to implement more defense.
Brian, the mentality of the defensive side of football, what have you done to change that? Anything specific or philosophy?
I think we've been an attack. We're an attacking defense. Okay, so we're going to have the ability, and our kids know any of them at any time can pressure. So just the sense of having that attacking mentality, kind of, I think, builds the excitement for them. I think from our guys up front, especially our new guys that are at edge positions, and we're bringing corners at times, safety. So just the attacking nature, I think, gives those guys an excitement.
Is part of that also due to the fact that you have taken a defense that hasn't had a lot of confidence, now they've got a little bit more? Is that why they were able to win today a lot in practice?
I think so. I think in for us, being able to play against our offense, over and over, when you come out and you're seeing a new scheme, these first couple of games, and especially his first game, not exactly knowing, there may be some tentativeness initially, but we need to continue that aggressive nature we've shown, throughout the spring. I think we won some days. Obviously, we keep track of every day. We've won some days in the spring and obviously the fall that we need to build on that just from a confidence. I think just being an aggressive nature is going to help that.
Have you ever installed the entire defense? I mean, or do you get
No.
to 80%?
No, I think that, for us, we're going to have a core package, but, week to week, there will be tweaks as far as our ability to get off the field, especially down in distance situations when we get, what we call our money down, third down. We'll be unique, and so that's where probably the majority of the new implementation will come.
Any uneasiness at all with sound like almost a likelihood that you may end up essentially almost having like 20 starters on defense, or 17 or 18, or is that customary for this kind of?
Well, no, I think that in the past at times we've had 12 or 13 guys that have played the majority. I think right now just seeing exactly who's going to fit when we get live bullets. We've had a spring game, we've had a couple of scrimmages, but for the most part, we haven't had a ton of live take guys to the ground who's going to be able to, play at the speed we need them to and down the ball. So I think there are some, there's some young guys out there that may not even be on the two deep that, will likely, get some snaps here the first couple of weeks.
What have you done to try to address that?
I think one thing we do is we've really implemented a new tackling system, and we've kind of modeled it off of some of the NFL films, and we practice it even with my particular. We each take a group. My particular group, I even work with the tight ends, and so we are focusing not in pads, just being able to get ourselves in a good position. And I think that emphasis, I think, has been beneficial. Anytime I do line tackling drills with my guys, I see direct correlation to those drills we've taught. So hopefully we'll see benefits on Saturday.
Brian, because this defense hasn't been very successful in the past few years, is there any concern about leadership with this group?
I think that is the key, where we're going to identify that leadership on the field. Who is it going to be? Is it going to be a Bobby Richardson? Is it going to be a Nick Mangieri or David Cooper? We're going to have to see that leadership emerge, because obviously there will be times when bad things happen, and we need to see that leadership. And for us as coaches, that's what we're trying to challenge the kids, especially the guys, put those guys in those leadership positions. Who is going to be that guy on the field that may step up and make that big play when we're reeling a little bit, or who's going to be the guy that controls those guys and settles them down out there. And so that's what we're kind of looking. A lot of times it's tough. We've got good corners in Tim Bennett but a lot of times that has to come from some of the core guys. So we're looking at a Mangeria, Cooper, Richardson, some of those guys to really step up here early in the season.
Thanks, Brian.
All right. Thank you, man.